Hello, everybody. This is not a sprint update. This is an Evernym project update on the Hyperledger projects that we participate in, Aries, Indy, and Ursa. We haven't been doing regular sprint updates. I've had a number of my colleagues, my friends in the Hyperledger community say, Richard, why aren't you doing project updates anymore? And the answer is because we got really busy. So we're doing it now to give people an update, let you know we're not, we didn't disappear. We are still active contributors, but to clarify how we're going to do this in the future and give an update on the projects. These are strange quarantine times. My family teases like how boring my life must be. That the work from home, never leave my house hasn't changed much. But I hope everybody watching this video is safe and healthy and doing well. And really, that is really what changed this project. Evernym's participation in Hyperledger is we've been working on these core SSI technologies for a very long time. And with everybody moving to work from home, everybody worried about COVID credentials and being able to verify whether tests happened and employment credentials, suddenly our clients that are on a tear to get to production. And it's exciting and it's fun. And we're really excited. It's just great to see this core self-sovereign identity technology moving into real-world use cases very quickly, and that's taken all of our focus. So my role has changed a bit at Evernym. I used to be very focused on our community contributions and our open source strategy. Now I'm much more engaged in the entire organization, which will limit my involvement. So if you're not seeing me as much at Hyperledger, that's because I'm working on a lot of different, all of our teams. But Evernym is an organization. My team members are still very engaged. So we're not disappearing, and I'll still be involved because I love it. But I won't be as consistent as I have been in the past. So Sergey's my collaborator on the agenda for today. Sergey Minayev, you'll of course can see him on Rocket Chat and on calls still. Daniel and Brent are still very involved. And of course other Evernym team members wade in and out. But we're also very focused on client projects at the moment. So going forward, don't expect regular sprint updates because we're not doing traditional sprints anymore. Our main focus in the community right now is to help other people contribute, to provide architectural guidance. We are doing some heavy lifting, but we've been mostly engaged in unblocking other people. So Keith Smith has been, from IBM, has been doing a yeoman's job at improving the Aries protocol test suite, and we've been excited to help him with that, to answer questions and collaborate. And that's the way we want to work going forward. Similar to that, the team at ABSA, Patrick and Miroslav and Jakob, have done a great job in improving libvcx and filling out the dummy agent to be more of a full-featured cloud agent. We have added them as contributors to the Indy-SDK repository. So we're really excited, and it's been great to work with them and help them progress. And that's the way we like to see going forward. Instead of engaged, the tech works for our customers. We're really excited about that. So instead of building new features in the core tech, we're interested in helping other people build the features they need, so they're capable contributors and can participate and meet their, ensure a healthy Indy, Aries, Ursa Sovrin network going forward. Now, specifically, there are a few things we are doing because we need them for our customers. We identified a few. There were some reports about problems on the Sovrin network, bug fixes. So we're fixing that. We haven't done an Indy Node release in a while because things have been pretty stable. But at this point, we've got enough fixes that we'll probably try and get a Indy Node upgrade out within the next little while, sometime in June. The revocation, the current approach to revocation, privacy provisioning revocation is a big deal. It really sets apart Indy from other identity solutions. The approach that's currently in there, Anoncreds 1, it works well. BC Gov has brought it to production for some of their use cases, or I think it's pretty close. but we know that it doesn't scale as high as we'd like. Tens of thousands of credentials per Tails file should work okay, but you get bigger than that, performance can suffer. And so Mike Lauder has done a great job at conceiving a new approach to revocation. We're calling Revocation 2 or Anoncreds 2. It's replacing a lot of the current approach with Merkle trees, and it should be much faster, easier to cache. Daniel has spent a lot of time benchmarking that approach and validating that the architectural work. Sergey and Brent have reviewed it, given a bunch of feedback. We've been really glad about that partnership to improve things, and that's coming along quite well. So that is the main focus of us at the moment. That's probably our top focus right now. Sergey, my understanding is we're on pause on that so that Mike can make some additional changes. Is that how that is at the moment?
Yeah, there's an ongoing discussion between Mike and Andrew Whitehead for more optimization in addition to Revocation 2 changes. And we are waiting for the results and for conclusion of this conversation. After that, we either resume our effort on our optimizations or just join their effort in their optimizations.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we'll give that a couple of weeks to shake out, and then we'll know which way will be the most collaborative for us to participate. This is a good time. Sergey, we missed something in the agenda we put together. We've changed, not so much we as in Evernym, but we as an Indy community. Andrew, specifically BCGov, really like GitHub issues. That we've been using Hyperledger Jira for issue tracking, but as we've widened the pool, doing less sprint work and more collaboration together, GitHub issues makes a lot of sense. So people who are interested in the work that's going on now, check GitHub issues. Jira still has lots of good stuff. Sergey and I and Alex and I spent a lot of hours in Jira making sure there's a lot of quality stuff there. I hope people don't forget about it completely and can mine it and bring that good stuff over. But for the current effort, look for pull requests and GitHub issues. The other update on that is similarly, we're moving away from Jenkins towards GitHub Actions. And we've been doing that is on the Indy-SDK. There's not a good plan to do that on Indy Node yet. So if you're looking to participate, to contribute, that'd be a great way to do it. You don't need to be a consensus expert, but you would learn a lot about Indy Node to help move Indy Node and Indy Plenum and all the tests from Jenkins to GitHub Actions and Azure pipelines, because that's what Hyperledger is standardizing on. But Evernym's current focus, like Sergey said, revocation is our top priority, but we're going to put that on hold for a little bit to let BCGov answer some questions, try out some of their ideas, and then we'll come back and figure out how we can help. So the other priority that we have is what we've been calling rich schemas, which is actually more about W3C verifiable credentials, encodings. We put a lot of stuff in that project, that epic in Jira. And that we've been working on quite closely. We worked with the Sovrin Foundation quite closely from December through February timeline. And now we've been doing it much more on, we worked a lot with BCGov in February, March, and April. This has been a great collaborative project. The basic idea is to create new ledger objects for proof presentations and how we handle mappings to schema encodings, things like that. And that's been going really well. And but it's evolved a lot as we worked with other people. We've kind of fed that into the other effort of splitting up libindy into various libraries, some in Aries, some in Indy, so it's more modular. So these new libraries that have really been, Andrew Whitehead at British Columbia did a lot of the heavy lifting to pull the verifiable data registry out of libindy, that whole VDR layer, make it its own library. He and Mike have worked really well at pulling the credential exchange pieces out into an Aries Credex and an Indy Credex. And that's working out fairly well and has most of the rich schema stuff, the W3C compliance stuff built into that at this point. And Evernym got it into Indy Node, along with some help from the Sovrin Foundation, from Adam and Ken. At IW, Mattr raised a proposal to use the ledger less and instead transfer the schemas with the proof using BBS plus signatures. It's very similar to the proposal that Brent from Evernym, Brent Zundell, put into an Aries RFC about a year ago. But when we tried it a year ago, we didn't get a lot of collaboration. Mattr's taking a very similar approach. It's very complementary to what we were trying to do. We think there's a lot of good ideas in there, and we're working with British Columbia and other contributors to try and bring that into this whole future effort of rich schemas and verifiable W3C VCs and the new Aries shared libraries, Indy shared libraries. So expect to see that over the next few months as well. It shouldn't, because we're in the middle of this process already anyway, adding the support for Mattr signatures, BBS plus signatures, the way Mattr proposed, shouldn't take a lot of extra effort. So we're excited about putting that in. Now, I did mention a few areas where we need help. Anybody who wants the Sovrin Network, well, I should say Sovrin is the largest deployment of Indy, so it's where we're seeing problems first. They're not big problems, but there's little things we find here and there that need some research. We need help doing that. We're not going to be able to get to them all. If your team is using Indy, I highly recommend that you check the Sovrin Network's Jira to see the list of topics there that need research, list of problems that we need to get to a root cause for. You can also check the Indy Node Jira at Hyperledger or the Indy-SDK Jira. And of course, GitHub issues. Just keeping up on these. We've had some security reports that we're investigating, general refinements that need doing. So if you want guidance on that, you can reach out to me or to Sergey Minayev, Daniel, Brent, anybody from the Evernym team. Be happy to help you. Of course, moving from CI/CD away from Jenkins is a big short-term effort. It's got to happen because people aren't paying the Jenkins bill. Hyperledger is willing to pay the Azure Pipelines bill, and GitHub Actions, of course, is free. So we need to move, or we're going to lose the ability to build. And then currently Indy Node is only building on Ubuntu 16.04, and of course Ubuntu 20.04 is out now. So we haven't upgraded in 4 years what platform Indy Node runs on. And it'd be really great to diversify so that we're not just Ubuntu, but we also support Red Hat or maybe even Windows or some other BSD. So that's an effort that needs doing. There's an epic that describes it all in Hyperledger Jira. The key challenge is we've been on 16.04 so long that we've had to distribute our own builds of a lot of Python libraries and various other dependencies. We probably don't need that going forward. So it's actually a fairly easy effort to just check and say, do we need this dependency, or does the new version does it have all the fixes we were trying to get, and we can just remove that dependency. So it's a testing effort. It doesn't take a lot of deep experience in the project to be able to do that upgrade, but it's probably a couple weeks worth of work. And then yeah, so that's everything that's ongoing. That's kind of a short list of needs. The best way to stay involved is to attend the Monday Indy contributors call. Please do that. That's the best way to stay involved and understand what's going on. If it doesn't work for your time zone, of course, we hang out on Rocket Chat, chat.hyperledger.org. In the Indy contributors channel is where we really talk about how we collaborate. And of course, there's the mailing list. We need we have a few new maintainers I mentioned for Indy-SDK. The ABSA team has joined. That's fantastic. We need more maintainers for Indy Node. We need to be able to do cross-organization reviews, have more collaborators to review security vulnerability reports. GitHub calls them security advisories, that kind of thing. So if you're interested in getting involved in some of the most interesting problems in technology, as well as changing the world with self-sovereign identity, please reach out and we can make you a maintainer. And you don't have to be an expert now. We will assist you in getting up to speed. Evernym sees that as one of the most valuable things we can do, more valuable than making a change on our own is to help other people understand how to participate in this ecosystem and keep it vibrant. So feel free to reach out. My email address, richard.esplin@evernym.com. You can find all over the internet, or you can reach me on Rocket Chat as well. Sergey, did I miss anything?
I think it's a pretty good summary of current status.
Well, thank you for helping me put together a list, Sergey, and give me somebody to talk to when I record the video. So we'll post this on YouTube. We'll do ad hoc updates as needed. We'll try to keep them short and sweet, but there won't be a regular schedule as there has been in the past. We kept a good schedule for a long time, Sergey, 2 years. That's probably the best I've done regular sprint updates in my entire career. So it has a lot to do with your leadership of the team, of course, and Alex as well, and all the participants. So it's been fun working on this project. Well, with that, we'll sign off. Thank you, and please keep in touch.